Welcome to this informational session on Paving for Progress, a 10-year initiative to make significant improvements to the streets in the city of Cedar Rapids. The purpose of this presentation is to provide an update on the Paving for Progress program. It will help you establish a better understanding of the process being used to develop priorities for the streets to be maintained, rehabilitated, or reconstructed with the local option sales tax revenue. I'll be giving an update on the 2014 Quickstart Program and then explain the development and implementation of the long-term plan. The City of Cedar Rapids has taken a step that few other communities in the United States have taken, namely to set aside dollars to proactively address the roadway infrastructure needs of the community. Paving for Progress effectively started in November of 2013 when voters approved the 1% local option sales tax for roadway improvements. This tax will generate approximately $18 million in new revenue every year for 10 years. All of the revenue generated from the tax, 100% of it, will go directly towards maintenance, repair, construction, and reconstruction of public streets. Even though the local option sales tax didn't take effect until July 1st, 2014, city leaders wanted to start making progress in the 2014 construction season. So, city engineers put together a list of quick start projects that could get underway in the 2014 construction season. The projects selected were streets that were in need of repair but did not require right-of-way or additional underground utility needs, such as the replacement of water, sewer, or storm sewer systems. There is currently more than $9.5 million worth of work under contract, and 13 projects have either been completed or are currently being constructed. This map shows the locations of all the 2014 Quick Start projects. The Quick Start program was used to get projects under construction quickly. The next step is to develop a long-term plan, a pavement management plan. This plan will result in, first, a system that allows the city to plan for optimal preservation of roadways, extending their useful life, and maximizing available resources. It will also allow effective scheduling and budgeting of roadway maintenance and reconstruction. And it's simply about applying the right treatment to the right pavement at the right time. So, how do we know when that is? This is a typical pavement performance curve, condition versus time. This chart is really just a way to show why it doesn't always make sense to work on the streets that are in the worst condition first. Pavements do not deteriorate along a linear or straight line. When we first build a pavement, the condition is excellent, and then it slowly begins to deteriorate and drop down the curve here in condition. As it begins to deteriorate, there is a window of opportunity, so to speak, where it makes the most sense to extend the life through maintenance, such as an overlay. Once it gets beyond this window, it begins to deteriorate faster, until it ultimately falls into poor condition and needs to be replaced. This is why you might already be seeing maintenance on streets that don't appear to be in poor condition. That proactive maintenance will extend the pavement life, eventually saving money over the long term, over the full life of that street. So how do we put together a pavement management plan? Well, there are multiple steps involved in the creation of a successful pavement management system. I'll talk a little bit about each of these steps. The first step is taking inventory and completing a condition assessment. Taking inventory is simply gathering information about the roadway system by segment, such as by block, and tracking it. Location of that street, geometrics, such as the width of that street and whether it has curbs or not. Traffic volumes, the functional classification of the street, and the condition of the pavement are the information that are gathered. Once the inventory is complete, a condition assessment is done to assign each segment a numerical value that represents the relative condition of that street. The state of Iowa has been on the leading edge of using technology as part of a comprehensive network management program. The Iowa Department of Transportation has been using automated distress collection for over a decade as part of the Iowa Pavement Management program. Data collection started on state routes, and recently services have been extended to other non-primary roads. The program is currently run out of Iowa State University's Institute for Transportation, or INTRANS. They collect pavement distress data through a contractor called Fugro Roadwear, which provides the van you see on this slide. The van is equipped with various sensors to collect data on each segment of roadway. In addition to the automated data collection, the city is providing on-the-ground field verification of the data. The verification is done using the Pavement Surface Evaluation and Rating System, or PASER, developed by the University of Wisconsin. PASER uses a simple 1 to 10 scale so that an experienced engineer or technician equipped with a tablet is able to quickly assess the roadway and record notes or recommendations. We can then use those results to validate the accuracy of data collected by the van, as well as fill in potentially missing information or even add in project information such as the condition of storm sewer intakes that is not collected by the van. Together, these two data sources can help give a very specific idea of pavement health in the city of Cedar Rapids. The next step is determining the pavement condition thresholds. What are the minimum target condition values that we want to maintain? To optimize the dollars being spent, we must apply the right treatment at the right time. Pavements in good condition should have simple maintenance applied. Pavements in fair condition will likely require some rehabilitation, and pavement that has already fallen into poor condition will need to be reconstructed. The graph on this slide shows an example of these thresholds. This example is based on a 100-point rating scale, and 40 has been set as the threshold for poor pavement. Anything rated a 40 or below is considered in poor condition and will need to be reconstructed. A rating of 41 to 65 falls within the threshold for rehabilitation, and anything above 65 is considered in good condition and requires only preventative maintenance. Keep in mind, this chart is an example and is not based on actual data collected in Cedar Rapids. Once pavement condition thresholds are set, the maintenance and reconstruction strategies to be applied need to be determined. This is where we build the toolbox, compiling options and methods to maintain or restore pavement condition. Preservation treatments are low-cost, non-structural enhancements that are generally applied to pavements in good condition. An example of preservation treatment is crack sealing. Rehabilitation methods improve the structure of the pavement. An example of rehabilitation is a hot mix asphalt overlay of an existing pavement. And reconstruction of a pavement includes complete removal of the existing pavement and then reconstruction of the pavement system. Reconstruction is undertaken when a pavement is in poor condition. With the above steps completed, we can now begin to prioritize improvements and identify the projects that provide the most benefit for the dollars spent. Many factors are considered as we prioritize the improvements. The condition alone does not determine the priority. We also need to consider the following: functional class of the street, so we can split the funds between arterial, collector, and residential streets. Pavement condition. Pavement types and which methods or treatments are available for these pavements. Truck traffic. Roads with heavy truck traffic generally deteriorate faster and are more costly to reconstruct. Speed limit and rideability. For example, if we have two streets that are rated to be in the same condition but one has a higher speed limit, to drivers, the higher speed roadway will seem to have a much rougher ride. condition of underlying infrastructure. If there is a street that has a water main or sewer that is also showing deterioration, then it may not make sense to spend a lot of money to rehabilitate that street. It may be more cost-effective to replace the entire street when the underground water or sewer mains are being replaced. Complete streets. The city has recently adopted a complete streets policy. Complete streets provide for safe, efficient, and economic transportation for all modes of travel: vehicles, bicycles, pedestrians, and transit. And finally, we need to consider the cost of the improvement. Obviously, some improvements are going to cost more. We cannot reconstruct all of the streets in the city. There simply isn't enough money to do so. We must strike a balance between preservation and rehabilitation and reconstruction methods. Again, to maximize the revenue available in the Paving for Progress program, we cannot just look at any single factor. We must consider all of them in the planning process. All of the previous steps then now come together to help us develop the long-term pavement management plan. This plan involves the development of a multi-year plan of maintenance, rehabilitation, and reconstruction projects to improve the overall roadway system condition within the constraints of revenues. The improvements will be programmed on an annual basis and will be reviewed and updated every year. This plan will be communicated to the public early in 2015. As we implement this plan, we will then begin to measure and track performance. We will accomplish this by keeping track of projects in design, project under construction, and projects completed. Once projects are completed, the condition ratings of those segments will also be updated, and information and visuals will be developed to show the progress towards increasing overall system condition ratings. With the additional revenue coming from the local option sales tax, we should quickly start to see the overall health of the pavement in Cedar Rapids increasing. For more information on Paving for Progress, please visit the website at cityofcr.com/pavingforprogress. This concludes the presentation. Thank you for your interest in this important city initiative.